with my guy, the two-time NBA All-Star, the two-time steals leader, a man who grew up in Cali and made his way around the league, host of the Point God podcast. I love the many voices that you can get from a Baron Davis, the man of many styles. Look at him today. BD, good to see you. Appreciate you. And I want to start with who you're working with today because it's an awesome, awesome cause. You're partnering with Hennessy. You're supporting Black communities, Black entrepreneurs. You're pushing the limits of their potential through the Never Stop, Never Settle Society. This is an awesome message. So tell me why this was on your heart today and why we get this time with you.
Man, it's like, Mark, I've been investing, champion, pioneering, athletes as investors, athletes as entrepreneurs. And, I've been fortunate to make great investments and have some great entrepreneurs come through, our venture studio. And so when Hennessy approached me with the Never Stop, Never Settle Society and the campaign, it just struck me like, hey, I can really become a mentor, an asset, a connector to this next generation of just Black creative minds. And so, just thinking about all the stuff that I've learned, all the stuff that I learned in basketball, I started thinking about, the kid that I was in college, right? And a lot of those kids that I went to college with and, going through college, they wouldn't have the access or the opportunity, even the athletes, right? So even when the athlete retired, like if you don't do your networking and you don't do your research and you don't do your hustle right? Like where do you go as an entrepreneur? And so I've experienced all that. And with this Never Stop, Never Settle society, it gave me an opportunity to coach them up, be a great point guard, give an assist, set a pick when they need one, right? And really help these young entrepreneurs be identified and create real legacy and investing in, this culture and this community of people.
Well, and you went on to have a 15-plus year career in the league, but since you brought up UCLA, you tore your ACL after your freshman year, and that was back when dudes didn't necessarily come back. So, it could have gone a bunch of different ways for you. Obviously,
yeah, for sure.
it went the right way, but I mean, it was on you at least a little bit that I'm sure there was at least a little bit of doubt, like, can I come back and do this? And what would it be if not, right?
Absolutely. That was probably one of the toughest times in my life, right? Because at the time, an ACL injury was a career-ending injury, right? The pros hadn't figured out how to come back from ACL injuries. No college player had really come back and had an extended career, or it's like once you have an ACL injury, you're never going to be the same. And I had a chance to just sit there and start thinking about if this don't work, who am I going to be? What do I want to be? And I would say my love for the game just said, man, I got to learn every job that's associated with basketball. So then that way I'll never fall off because I'll know what someone does and I'll know how to do it.
So BD, before this interview, I actually did call up UCLA and I've got video of you rehabbing and we've got stuff for you in the pool. And I've seen people who can't swim. And then I saw you holding on to the side there, trying to somehow rehab that.
I need to see this tape. I need to see this tape.
I just want to tell you, they called me land lover as a kid. I'm not here as Mr. Mark Spitz swimmer over here. I was terrible, but I mean,
I was the worst. No. Oh man, if you got video of that, burn it, because somebody must have snuck in with a camera. Because I was going at 5 a.m. to make sure nobody was in the pool.
Well, that just showed your dedication, though. Word to the people out there who are trying to uncover every stone to get where you want to go in life. You could not swim, but you were getting in that you at all. Right, but you were going to get in
learn.
Right,
I did not learn. So it was like 5 weeks of swimming. I never learned to swim. I would just hold on to the sides and and kick my legs.
Well, you worried about upper body, and you were worried about drowning. So they were trying to get you to get off that wall though, and you just wouldn't.
I wasn't getting off that wall. If I go to the wall, I'm gonna go hang on the Olympic on the Olympic rope.
You did, BD, you did what you had to do. Bottom line. Hey, I should tell you, I'm a Chicago guy, by the way. So I'm looking, back at your trajectory. You're coming in '99, which was right after Mike retired, and at least the second time. And the Bulls were picking first. They took Elton Brand, and you, of course, went third to Charlotte. I know they talked to Steve Francis at that time. Did the Bulls talk to you at all?
I did.
They did. What
I worked out for the Bulls. I did like an IQ test or something like that. It was I had lunch with Jerry Krause. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. They were cool about it. I didn't think that I was gonna go number one. If they did, I was ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I knew that if I fell to 3, I was going to Charlotte.
You did know.
Yeah, I was guaranteed lock at 3. Paul Silas had called my agent. It was like, he's not going past 3. We don't care who's there.
Did you know that before you declared, or did you find that after?
I found out after.
Okay.
I found out after.
Well, that's another Bulls connection, by the way. I mean, you played with Silas in Charlotte, and you had him in New Orleans too, and then he gets replaced by Tim Floyd. I'm assuming that was a drop off between those two.
And I would say in a lot of things, but to Tim Floyd's credit, he let us rock. He let me rock. He opened up that floor. To his credit, he challenged me and said I could lead the league in steals. He taught me how to pick up where he wanted me to pick up. That became something that I perfected. And so Tim Floyd, man, we was rocking. I just think what Tim Floyd, he was a good coach, but he lacked the leadership.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where Paul Silas got over is he was you knew you were going to battle with somebody who was going to battle with. So I think a lot of Tim Floyd wasn't a bad coach for me. It's like I was third team All NBA. I just think that, when you're a player, you look for your coach to have your back and be your backbone. You know what I mean? And I just think that, he was pretty fragile, you know what I mean, as far as his backbone, not his coaching.
I got you. And it's interesting because, we can bring that into the league today and guys that are successful. And I'm thinking Steve Kerr, he's got that with his guys. Monty Williams has that clearly with the Suns. If BD was to break down the difference between a successful college coach and an NBA coach, how would you kind of describe what would make a guy successful on the league level versus college?
I think in college it's all ego.
Yeah.
So you look at somebody like Mike Montgomery who couldn't coach a lick, you know what I mean, of basketball, and who was probably one of the less sophisticated basketball minds in the
game. Hey, we're just calling it how it is.
Dude, I'm telling you the God honest truth. It's how, you're in the NBA and you're like, dude, how is this dude? What is he talking about? Is this basketball? And then you go to college and you realize that worked in college because he can you got all day to be talking. You know what I mean? So in the pros, you got to be somebody who trusts your players, know your players, and can make adjustments. In college, it's a dictatorship.
Yeah. And just one more thing about college coaches. The dude that does not sit down the whole game and wants to be seeming like he wants to be on the court. Personally, you can, I'm curious what you think here, BD, but sit down, let the dudes play. We don't need to micromanage every possession. That's not helping your dudes.
Yeah, I mean, that's just coaches who coach like that. I coach in the Drew League, and on Father's Day, one of my players missed a wide open layup, and I ran on the court and I body slammed his ass. You know what I mean? And so, I get all the way in the game. I set picks. I run out there. I got 2 texts last week for setting illegal screens as a 6 man, as the coach.
I'm not sure. Are you kidding?
I'm totally kidding.
Okay.
Kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on there.
that would have made a video somewhere.
You got coaches who need that energy, who like that, who like to coach every time. And then you got coaches who like to coach in practice and want to see the results in the game.
People are going to want to know your thoughts on the Warriors winning the title, BD, and what that means, I guess, for Steph's legacy.
Yeah, buddy. I mean, I think I always say when the Warriors win, I win. I'm a part of the organization and the legacy, and I'm a Warrior at heart, Warrior to the heart. And Steph Curry is a pioneer in this game. Juggernaut, top 5. Ain't nobody had as great as impact as Steph Curry. Ain't nobody carved out a new position for a traditional position than Steph Curry. So it's only Steph and Magic at the point guards. Name me another point guard who's been a game changer.
I'm not gonna argue with you. You
Name
think top 5? Well,
name them.
I mean, AI is around there.
Name a point guard that has had a bigger impact. Steph Curry.
You can't do it.
AI not a point guard. AI was a cultural icon.
Yeah.
AI was celebrated and had to break barriers off the court for us. Steph Curry is breaking barriers on the court.
Do you put Zeke third? Is Isaiah third? Because
I definitely put Zeke. I definitely put Zeke third.
Okay.
When you're looking at you're looking at those 3 dudes, those are generational guys. You throw a Jason Kidd in there, generational guy. You know what I mean? There's so many great point guards that have come along, and been dominant. I just think when you think about Steph Curry and his impact, and the next 15 years belong to Steph. All these kids are watching him, and they're gonna want to be like him, and shoot threes like him, and play like him. So, as far as impact and game changer, I mean, I gotta tip my hat to the kid, and he earned it. You know what I mean? He is top 5. You can say what you want. It's Warriors for life. Warriors won the championship. And it's cemented, man. It's cemented.
When they were down at 15 wins, worst in the league, do you think they were going to get back?
Absolutely.
You did? Wow.
Absolutely. Everybody got to go through a little heartache and pain. Those dudes never, ever wavered from each other. They never bickered with each other. You know what I mean? They just held each other down. They held it down. Steph held it down as much as he could till Draymond got back. Draymond held it down as much as Steph could. They both held it down for Clay. It's like, man, it's like, man, those dudes were all birthed together in the NBA. You know what I mean? So they are their own best resource with each other.
Would you want to play with Draymond? Like, how do you think you would handle his personality on the court when he's...
Love Draymond Green. Are you kidding me? I'm trying to get back on the Warriors for next year so I can get me a ring. Matt Barnes got one. So I said, I don't mind Draymond yelling at me because it's all intelligence. You know what I mean? And, if you know me, I love to talk some smack to a ref. Oh my God. I had to teach Draymond how to really get under their skin without getting technical fouls. So I used to bag on the ref. I used to joke on the refs and call them like names, like roasting them on the court, and they would never know. But then they give me a tech when they figure out, okay, he talking about me.
Who'd you go at the most?
I bothered everybody. You should interview all the referees and just and get hot takes on stuff that Baron Davis has probably said. I remember Tony Brothers told me he was like, oh man, I saw your car. I got a new car, man. I got one just like yours. I looked at him and I said, I don't give two, and walked away.
I don't know why all those dudes bother me, but they do. Like, I feel like they think they're as big as the players. And it's like, dude, I don't want to know your, and I know Tony Brothers' name. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know any of y'all. I want to watch hoop. That's just me, you know.
They got personalities too, man. The refs are great. They're great personality and great part of the game.
Okay. I guess let me just rewind real quick back to your Warriors team, because you mentioned Matt Barnes, and you've been on there, all the smoke with him and Jack, and they're doing a great job. You got your podcast. Al Harrington's out here making millions in the marijuana world.
Yeah.
You had a team of fascinating dudes there. What was the conversations like in that locker room? I mean, did you have any idea that all these dudes are going to go on to do something even bigger than playing, or just, not just talk glory days when they're done? Because it's just, I don't know, it's a really interesting crew.
Yeah, man. It was like, we've been together since then. Even though we all went our separate ways, it was almost like we had a vow and a bond to always look out for each other and always like keep each other in mind. And when you look at the success of what everybody's doing, Jay Rich in business, you know what I mean? Al in the cannabis space, Stack and Matt winning awards for their podcast and digital. Donna Foyle, working with the league. Monte Ellis coaching kids and, you know what I mean, doing what he doing. It's just great, man. It's just great to be able to like have a brotherhood and to be able to experience something in the league and then be able to talk, communicate, and just keep pushing each other to do more, right? It ain't over. We got more and more and more to do. And I think that's the beauty of retiring is figuring out like, yeah, damn, I got access to a whole world to me. So, this is where we want to be. We need to be for the next generation of kids coming out or retiring.
I got two more for you. I know I'm getting the push to get you on out, but I got to get two more.
Yeah.
Your favorite dunk, who you banged on? I mean, Karolinko gets a ton of pub, but you got everybody.
Mutombo.
Mutombo, really? What about KG? I like that one too.
Mutombo. It was my 5,000 point, and Mutombo had elbowed me in my mouth the play before, so I was mad. And I went and dunked on him. And I looked at my trainer because I couldn't believe it. It's just one of those plays where you're just upset. And so I finally called Mount Mutombo.
Did you get? I gotta look this one up. Did you give him the finger wag?
I was so excited. I didn't even know I dunked on him.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. And people are asking me, they want to know an Adam Sandler story. Adam's in the space right now with Hustle, and I know you got connection with him. Any movie moments or just behind the scenes with Sandler?
Oh, Sandler's great, man. He put me in a movie. That's my boy. Just working with Sandler, I learned a lot. I learned how to direct and like work with people and see what he was doing. He was so great about letting me, get behind the scenes, behind the camera, and just be a sponge. And just shout out to him for one, putting basketball players in the movie, but two, producing and helping and collaborating with us to get us to that next level. And he's really the person who got me into acting because he gave me the stamp. He gave me the confidence saying like, man, you could be really good at this. Like you could be really good at this. And so, from that, I always just kind of took those words and, just start working on my craft.
Hardworking dude, super ass creative. That's awesome that you're getting in to work with him. That's super cool. BD, good to see you, man. Never stop, never settle society, partnering with Hennessy. Yeah, keep it rolling. I love listening to the pod. Got to listen to a bunch of episodes getting ready for today. I put you on to like 2 a.m. when you do that soothing voice.
Yeah, that's my morning voice.
I enjoy it.
I appreciate you, boss man.
Yeah, congrats on all your success, man. I appreciate you.